The world of knockoff Beyblades is an interesting one. There's of course the ones you should avoid no matter what, like counterfeit Beys. These are the ones that try and pretend they're the real thing, but they're cheaper because they use way cheaper materials and they, steal real Takara Tomy designs. Then there's the ones that aren't counterfeit, but they're definitely using some Beyblade ideas, kind of like Infinity NATO. I actually did an unboxing of the Infinity NATO sword launcher a little while ago, and it was actually not bad. It was kind of fun. But what separates Infinity NATO from the rest of the Beyblade posers is that Infinity NATO is actually an established brand, kind of. It's been going on for many years. It has its own anime in China, I think. And overall, Infinity NATO has established itself as a Beyblade alternative. But for every established brand like NATO or Beyblade, there's 5 to 10 factories that are pumping out garbage. One of them being this.
Two hours later.
Let's talk about it. This video is sponsored by Mall of Toys. If you want to pick up some of the upcoming Beyblade X releases like Leon Claw, Viper Tail, the new entry set, they are the best place to go. So go and check them out. I'll leave a link in the description down below, or there's going to be a QR code that you can scan and use code ilinnuc to get 5% off of your first purchase. I got this on Amazon the other day for $22 US, and it is called the Battling Top Burst Gyro Toy Spinning Top with Trident Launcher with Bay Stadium Battle Game Set. Toys for 6 to 12 years old, boys, girls. Whenever I went to pick up the package from my mailbox, I was a little bit worried because the box didn't show anything that I ordered at all. No Trident launcher, none of the bays shown. I was a little worried I got scammed, or at least they made a mistake. But whenever I opened the basic and kind of ugly box, everything was included. The Trident launcher, the 2 battling gyros, and I honestly did not know there was a Bay Stadium included until a little bit later, because it's really not a stadium at all. Let's look at these battling gyros first. It's made up of 2 different parts that have a decent ring of metal around them. There is the magnetic top piece and the bottom piece, and they connect together magnetically, which is kind of a cool gimmick. I actually wouldn't mind Beyblade using this kind of magnet connection, but I don't think they ever will. Something that's kind of unfortunate about these gyros is that they're really not cross-compatible. You'd think that you could just kind of take the magnetic topper off of one and slap it onto another, but you can't. I mean, it'll fit, but it's like the magnets kind of repulse each other a little bit. They don't grab onto each other, so you're really not supposed to. But I don't really know why, because they're basically the same thing. But I did not buy this set because of the gyros that were included. I bought it because of this Trident launcher and how cool, but also kind of ridiculous it looked. Something that we're seeing a lot of with these competing spin top brands is they really don't care about the bays at all. They try and make whatever the coolest launcher is. For example, Infinity NATO V or 5 that came out a few years ago, the launchers were super bland for the most part, but the actual NATO themselves, besides kind of stealing some design ideas from Beyblade, were well made and they were kind of cool. But then fast forward a few years later with the newest NATO tops, and the NATO themselves are actually kind of lame besides like a glow effect, and the main draw is the sword launcher, which is kind of suspect. And this is definitely the same thing. The actual gyro Beyblades themselves aren't really anything special at all, but this Trident launcher, it's actually pretty cool. It's not the sturdiest or most well-built launcher ever, but for the price, it's okay. It does take 2 AAA batteries, but it comes with a little screwdriver for you to unscrew the battery cover and put them in yourself, and it was pretty easy. It starts off in this kind of closed form, and then you're able to open it up to be more of an actual Trident, like it shows in the picture. There's a couple of things I don't like though. I kind of thought that whenever you actually launch the spin top itself, the Trident would open up, but it doesn't. You either have to open it up yourself, or you can kind of just do that. And as you heard earlier, there are light and sound effects, although they last forever. and they're really annoyingly loud. The box also has these things, which are these like plastic, kind of look like USB drives that you just kind of plug in to the bottom of the launcher, but they don't do anything. They're just plastic and you just kind of push them up there. I still have no idea what they do. I kind of thought that whenever they are not plugged in, maybe the launcher won't make any noise, but no, that's not true. But now let's do some battles, and we're not going to use the Bay Stadium they included because that looks like this.
What the f is this piece of sh?
So, we're actually going to battle in a standard type Bay Stadium and in the Beyblade X Stadium against multiple generations of Beyblade and see how it does. Up against Spriggan. Oh, good impacts. Really okay, the knockoff is kind of holding its own a little bit, so very surprisingly. The hits really aren't doing that much though, we'll say. Close. And Spriggan is gonna win that one. Okay, let's really rev this thing up. Oh, and it's gone. Goodbye. Let's try some metal fight. Let's see how that goes. Oh, big speed coming from the knockoff bay. Big Bang has not activated its final drive just yet. There we go, more speed. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. All right, that's a couple of wins against Metal Fight. Gonna come down to stamina, which the Rip-Off Bay is going to win. Next, let's try it out against some of the X Bays. This is the latest generation of Beyblade released, and while they don't weigh that much yet, they can hit really hard. Oh, the speed from Dran's sword. Oh, the metal on metal impact is insane. Ouch, this hurts the ears, it's so loud. Ugh. Yeah, not a fan of the metal on metal sounds. That's for sure. At least not for this thin metal, whatever this is. Oh, Dran sword, no! Good impacts from Dran's sword. Oh! You see the glow effect on the Rip-Off Bay is actually pretty cool, we'll say. And it does not look like it's going to win that one. I will say, I don't really know what the point is about having like two separate pieces, because that one doesn't really pop off ever. I mean, maybe it can at some point. Also, I just realized something. Does this kind of look like it's copying Valkyrie, or is that just me? Can launch it with only one part though, so let's try that. Oh, the speed! Oh, okay. Now it's getting thrown around way more, that's for sure. Still. And yeah, Dran is not enough. Up against Dronzer, the speed! Woo! Oh! I almost thought that was going to be a ring out finish. A KO. Ah, Dronzer, so fast. Not enough. So now let's battle the two spin tops that come in this set together in the Beyblade X Stadium. Maybe we'll get a burst finish, or the battle will just be super boring. Okay, so we definitely have a good impact. Good speed. Alright, okay, let's do it again. battling right in the middle. And yeah, so it's just pretty much, maybe we'll just end it there. I will say, while I really don't care about the spin tops that much, the launcher is actually pretty strong. The Trident launcher is definitely the coolest part of the whole thing though. And while the whole Trident effect is just kind of useless, I really don't care about it. The Rev Up launcher is actually really strong. Here's a little bit of a Beyblade history lesson. One of the most sought after Beyblade launchers of all time is the Rev Up launcher from the Metal Fight Gen. Hasbro released this by itself a couple of times, and Takara Tomy released it in, I believe, a set, but they're super expensive, really hard to come by. If you have one, hold on to it because it is gold. It's literally an asset you could probably write in your will. But the Rev Up launcher was so strong because you could just kind of tug on the string as much as... Tug on the string, what? You can pull on the string as much as you want until it's revved up enough. You launch it and it has a ton of power. The Trident launcher does the exact same thing and it feels pretty strong as well. But that's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know what you guys think about the Trident launcher and if it's worth the $20. I don't really know if I could recommend it because it's not Beyblade, but it could still be fun. So hit that like button, hit subscribe to join the Nook Nation. We're really close to 300,000 subs, and I will see you in the next one. Have fun and bay away.